What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We have a brand new edition of So Rare Value Hunting. It is game week 23 on So Rare. We have a couple of new contests. So, what we are going to do, like we always do on Value Hunting, is take a look at some of the players with a cap of 20 or below and try to find some value so we can fit in some of our superstars into our contenders and champion lineups. But before we get started, as always, if you are new to So Rare, checking it out for the first time, there's a link right in our show notes, in our description. You can sign up for free today. You get 20 free common cards. You don't even have to spend $1. And if you do buy 5 things off of the auction, you get a 6th one free. It also helps us out. We will be using Momentum Labs projections. You can also find a link to their stuff if you want to get behind the paywall over there. And yeah, I think that's it. Let's dive in to game week 23. Just a reminder, they've got a new under 23 age under 23, contender tournament as we look for game week 23, what we got going on here. So as always, we get the common contender, common champion. They've introduced common veterans. I believe this is over the age of 30. Player must be at least 30 years old. As we get over to limited, right, we have the contender, the champion, limited under 23. Player must be at most 23 years old. The old youngins. And then you have the rare contender, rare champ, super rare contender, super rare champ, and unique champion. Let's look at the rewards quickly too, just as people get jacked up for this under 23. Just a reminder, so there's already 1,500 entrants into this tournament, and we still have a few days to go. Only 100 rewards, so it's going to be difficult to get yourself in there. So just keep that in mind. Always take a look at the rewards before you start entering your lineups. All right, let's one more thing actually before we dive into the spreadsheet. Do me a favor at the end of this video, if you could like the video and then just drop a comment, tell me what your favorite play is. Let's get that algorithm boost pumping, you know what I'm saying? And then highly recommend signing up for our VIP. It gets you into the gated Discord where you can see some more So Rare conversation, a bunch of other perks as well. And you know, helps us out, makes us look good. It helps me afford these very cheap blue light glasses that keep me from getting headaches. All right, let's dive into the spreadsheets. Let's figure out where damn cheapos are at, where those cap of 20 or below. Let me blow it on up so you can see it a little bit better. Let's get to that 150 piece. All right. First guy that pops is Zubat. Zubat says 2 games this weekend, a cap of 20 and a projection of 26. I always like Zubats mainly because he has he's got upside, man. There's going to be games where the Clippers go small. And of course, that limits his upside. It limits his minutes. But I mean, we've seen it a couple of times this year already, right? Where he puts up just like a 15 and 15 line. And for a cap of 20, it both feels like it has a decent floor and also a pretty high ceiling. So, of course, that's priced appropriately at 32. We've all heard of Zubat, so I get it. But I like him. I like him for a cap of 20, especially if you're going a more balanced route instead of trying to get like a cap of 5 or something like that in. One more caveat, too, as we continue to dive into the spreadsheets. Just a reminder, right? It's Wednesday. So we still have 2 more days before lineups lock. We have like a million games that are happening tonight. There's 4 games tomorrow. So much more injury news is going to come out before this game week actually tips off. It's really important to pay attention to the injury news. I know the So Rare website doesn't always make that the easiest, so I recommend following Underdog, use So Rare data, use Momentum Labs, use those third-party resources to make sure that you're on top of things, because that really dictates like where the value is, where the even where the high end plays. And one thing to note now, and I'm sure it'll reflect it in the spreadsheets, but Zion is going to be out for 3 weeks at minimum, which sucks because Zion is such a fun basketball player. But taking that information and applying it to the Pelicans roster for the next couple of weeks is going to be pretty important. I think you're going to see, you know, we've seen them be without some of these guys before and be really shorthanded, and guys like Jackson Hayes pops. I think until Brandon Ingram comes back, you know, now a lot of the offense is missing. And so Jackson Hayes is a great play. He's like a great defensive player for as cheapy as he is, right? He's probably going to get you like 8 points, 4 rebounds, a block, and a steal, maybe, right? Which is great for that cap. But thinking about the offensive productions, the usage that we're now losing from Zion, I mean, CJ becomes one of those guys who in my champion lineups will probably be my second player in, because he's just going to be forced to do so much more. Both like facilitating the offense, because Zion, they were doing some point forward, but he's also going to have to just take more shots. Jonas Valanciunas is going to be a guy that's going to pop. Brandon Ingram once he comes back, I know he's been gone for so long. People have forgot since you've been gone. We've like forgot about Ingram, but he's going to be a great play when he comes back. Trey Murphys of the world are going to get boosted a little bit. Larry Nance, who's missed some time with an injury, but Larry Nance is going to be a solid play. So again, like an injury like that, it's not just like a one game, like, oh shoot, he's a great play. It's so many guys, are impacted by this. So we'll see what the spreadsheets say, but that's just kind of my quick take on the Zion thing. Sorry for the tangent. All right, the next one that pops is Bones Highland. They only have one game this weekend. I'm curious why he's got a cap of 19 and a projection of 34. Actually, I won't do this here. I'll do it on my own screen. I'm just going to double check quickly on the Jamal Murray front, because that makes me think that Jamal Murray is going to sit an upcoming game here. Let me check one other thing. Why don't we just check his projections here? Jamal Murray. Yeah, okay. So Jamal Murray is projected to miss the game this weekend. I wonder if they have a game on Thursday and then Friday. Anyways, so with Jamal Murray missing, obviously Bones Highland becomes a great play. One thing I will say though, the Nuggets have been. I'm going to go a different direction here. The Nuggets haven't really been starting Bones. Bones kind of maintains his same role. He gets a little bit more run with the second unit. Obviously, a couple more shots because there's no Jamal Murray. But what they've been doing is Christian Brown, Vlatko Kankar. He's more impacted if Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon misses. But Christian Brown and Bruce Brown, the Brown Bros. Bruce Brown usually moves into the starting lineup. So I think those guys get like a pretty big a bump up as well. So let's actually look at Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown. Okay, so he's got a cap of 22, so it's already up there. But I think this projection should be a little bit higher. IMO, and then Christian Brown, cap of 8, a projection of 8. I think he should be a better play too with no Jamal Murray. So anyways, that's just my initial take on that. TJ Warren, I think he's come up a couple of shows in a row, man. He's turning into a nice 6-man for the Brooklyn Nets. He's still going to cap a 19. I bet like as the season settles and he settles into this role and plays more minutes, that cap probably boosts. That cap probably sits around that 23 to 25 range. So couple more game weeks of DJ Warren being a solid play. Like that a lot. Andrew Nembhard, he's been playing really well. Oh, not really well, but a cap of 17, projection of 24. He's got 2 games. Pacers always play fast-paced games. And then if you ever luck box into somebody missing a game, Nembhard is a solid call here. Io Dosunmu, excuse me. Io, he's been playing pretty well lately. I know that they've gotten a little bit healthier in the Bulls backcourt, so his upside's a little bit capped, but cap of 17, projection of almost 20. Don't hate it. Mark Williams, Kelly Oubre is about to miss a bunch of time. I think the Hornets are about to miss a bunch of games. Mark Williams has been interesting. He's getting a little bit more run. He's a big blocks and steals guy, or at least he was in college, and I'm hoping that continues to translate in the NBA. As long as he's like, if we can start getting him to flirt with that 20-minute mark, I would get I'd get a little bit more excited about that. So his cap obviously was like 6 2 weeks ago, and now it's up to 16. So we need a little bit more production than we did when it was at 6. But I'm a big Mark Williams fan. I think he's a stash for later. Jalen Williams caps all the way down to 16. Good God, what happened? Reggie Bullock is fine. Eric Gordon is fine. Corey Kispert is fine. Jose Alvarado. Same thing, though. The Pelicans, I'm going to be very interested to pay attention to their next game. Jacques Landale. Man, the Suns have been bad. He didn't really do anything in the game against the Knicks. I think he's no longer starting. They were messing around with their starting rotation quite a bit. I don't know what to do with the Suns. Amadou Diallo, fine, whatever. Damian Lee, fine, whatever. TJ McConnell, same thing. Pacers projecting well, but there's a lot of guards back there. Muscala, the Moose is loose. He's fine. Trey Mann coming off a pretty solid game last night against the Celtics. I don't know. My understanding is that SGA is going to be fine. So if like that, he just missed last night's game. So if SGA is fine, I'm not running to get Trey Mann into my lineups. Malachi Branham is very interesting. Shout out Hamey. I know he bought him today, actually, a rare moment of his. I really like targeting some of these Spurs because any given day, Popovich is going to be like, hey, you know what? Keldon Johnson You're going to sit. You know what I mean? Like he just sits guys. The Spurs are going to be trying to lose as much as they can. So Branham, I like as a short-term play, but also a long-term play. I like him quite a bit, actually. Even though he's not projecting like a monster, right? I like that quite a bit as a grab. Thaddeus Young, we've talked about enough. I don't really love it. Dyson Daniels, again, another beneficiary in that Pelicans backcourt, or just he's like a big guard too. So I could see him getting a few more minutes. I like that. You like that? Duarte's been playing a little bit better. Aaron Wiggins again. These OKC guys are popping. Let me see. He must have SGA missing some time here. No, he's got SGA playing, so he just loves the OKC situation. All right. Were we just looking at Trey Man? Oh, we're at Wiggins now, right? Yeah, I'd monitor these projections. I mean, Kappa 12 projection of 20, Aaron Wiggins. I mean, for sure. I know he had a great game last night, but I just pay attention to that. Javante Green continues to be green. Joe Ingles, we talked about him last week. A Kappa 10, man. He doesn't have to do much to get there. As long as I think Ingles is going to turn into like a 6-man for them. So I like this. Says he's doubtful right here, but I think the Bucks do. The Bucks have 2 games. Is that why he is still project? No, they only have 1 game. So actually, even though Ingles is projecting really well, it sounds like he's not, or he's doubtful for the upcoming game. I don't know. Pay attention to that. But a Kappa 10. We love the Kappa 10 here. Davis, the Capitan. Davis Bertans, whatever. Here we go. Jalen Williams for OKC. He with Pokuševski out, he's been getting. They started him a couple of times. They've got a lot of guys, so you just got to pay attention to that. But I like the big Jalen Williams here. Frankie Smokes, whatever. Vlatko Kankar, we talked about in the Nuggets situation. Rashawn Holmes, I'm avoiding. McKinley Wright, I'm avoiding, and then KZ Okpala is pumping as well. So honestly, this is more of a balanced build type week for me. I don't think there's anybody that we need to go dumpster diving for. Jalen Williams is probably the most exciting sub 10 guy. Joe Ingles, I like more long term, but as a Kappa 10, if he's playing, I don't hate it. Okay, yeah, I don't really want to go dive around with Aaron Wiggins, but the stuff up top here in this 15 plus range, right? Who are some of the guys? Mark Williams, I really like long term. And then here we go. We had Nembhard, and then we had the Denver situation with Bones, TJ Warren, stuff like that. So again, I think this week is going to be a little bit tricky, and we need more injury news. I highly recommend tuning into. I think the Pelicans play tonight. I would pay attention to the Pelicans game. I'd pay attention to their rotations. I would see who gets a little bit of a boost. See how they use Jackson Hayes. And see, I think CJ is going to end up being a pretty sharp play moving forward. That's not a big brain take. It's not a value take like, oh, wow, CJ McCollum, good at basketball. But I just think people are like, oh, Zion's out. So that means Jonas, Larry Nance, and Jackson Hayes. And to an extent, that is true. But Zion also did a lot of playmaking and offense facilitation. So I think that's going to get moved around a little bit, and maybe it's Trey Murphy gets more involved. But anyways, recommend paying attention to the game tonight, and if not, just tune into the morning show tomorrow, and I'll tell you what happened. But that's it for value hunting. Again, please do me a favor, like this video, drop a comment. It's just good for business. And if you watch this whole thing without signing up for SORARE yet, honestly, you got to find a new hobby. But you should sign up for SORARE using the link in the show notes. Momentum Labs, you can find that info in the show notes. Join our Discord. Join our Discord, sign up for VIP, and check out some of the live content if you're seeing this for the first time. Smash the subscribe, as the kiddos say. Appreciate everyone being here. Best of luck value hunting. Good luck in game week 23. And join us on Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will do live before lock, give away a card, and figure out what the hell's going on in game week 23.